So when I first had the goal of paddleboarding the Moloka'i channel, I was a graduate student at UH Manoa and I couldn't afford a paddleboard. Long story short, after I got a paddleboard, I wrote a grant to the Outrigger Duke Kahanamoku Foundation to do my first Moloka'i race, and because of the support and belief they had in me, I get to be here today. I paddled the channel 15 times on my belly on my prone board, and I am so honored to have that come full circle and get to be here and be part of the organization that gives those kind of scholarships to kids like me that really needed it. There are two things that happened to me that really propelled my paddleboarding career forward and enabled me to be standing here with you today. The first was that I won an award, a fellowship from the National Science Foundation to study hammerhead sharks. And so my salary as a graduate student skyrocketed to $16,000 a year. And I went straight over the poly, right to John Martin's shop in Canoe, Hawaiian Designs, and I ordered my first paddleboard. And the second thing is I wrote a grant to the Duke Kahanamoku Outrigger Foundation for funding to paddle my first Moloka'i race. And I'm so grateful for the Duke Kahanamoku Foundation for their support, for their belief in me. They opened a door not just to a sport that I love, but to an amazing club of watermen who took me in like family. They fed me, they literally clothed me, they trained me, they scolded me, they teased me relentlessly, they told me lots of stories. But most of all, they showed me who I want to be when I grow up. And I'm fortunate to have some of those people here today, guys like Mike Takahashi and Dennis Pang, Clark Abbey, Buddy Shepard. They're paddlers, they're surfers, they're all-around water people, they're legends. Some that are no longer with us, like our good friend George Ramos, who we're carrying in our hearts. And these people, they're ambassadors of Hawaiian water sports, and they inspired me, and they're the reason that I'm here today. And I think that my biggest wish is that I can go on to inspire the next generation of ocean athletes to keep paddling and keep moving. And I think in paddling and in life, it's really critical to keep your hull speed up, keep catching bumps, get to know the big and the little currents, because as all of us distance paddlers know, getting where you want to go is not always the fastest way is not always a straight line. And I'm really grateful to the different currents that have brought me here today to share this evening with just people I've looked up to my whole life. I thank my teammates, my family, my training partners, and also my competitors and friends here in Hawaii and around the globe that really pushed our sport forward in board design and training techniques. And this award I feel is, I'm fortunate to be the first inductee to the Hawaii Waterman Hall of Fame in the sport of paddleboarding, and this award is for my entire paddleboarding ohana. Mahalo, ola kako.
The Duke Kahanamoku Foundation was critical in terms of, I was a grant recipient. So from a personal standpoint, the difference that made in my life and the journey that I took was priceless. Not only in the fact that, sure, there was some financial support, but understanding Duke, his legacy, and frankly, all of the people who have been part of this Hall of Fame, for example, it symbolized to me that what I was pursuing was worthy. There was a belief in what I was doing, and that I was not taking that journey alone. And the ODKF was central to me doing that. Being inducted into this Hall of Fame, it's the most profound, humbling honor that I can foresee. I've been fortunate to receive some honors in the past, but this is different. This is on a level that growing up here and being from here, very few people would really understand, but it's the most humbling experience of my life.
As I finish, I want to make sure that I recognize the ODKF and what tonight means to the ODKF to continue the legacy of making a difference. As you've heard, as a previous grant recipient, I want to thank you for making a difference in my journey and understand that it was not just a grant that made a difference. It was receiving the grant, it was what receiving the grant symbolized to me. Given the legacy which began with Duke, being a recipient gave me a belief in myself, that what I was pursuing was worthy and I was not alone in my journey. It is here that I also want to honor my mom, who obviously had an incredible impact on my life, but also, like many of you, believed in serving and giving back. Mom did serve on the ODKF board for many years and even served as president, joining with others to support the mission of ODKF. We lost Mom 2 years ago, and in a way I cannot explain, or maybe I can understand. For those of you who knew the tenacity of my mom, I know she is watching. And how do I know? Mom passed 2 years ago today. So Mom, I honor you tonight. But I also want to take this opportunity to honor the ODKF board, the Outrigger Canoe Club, its board, staff who are taking such great care of us tonight. All of the sponsors who have stepped up to make this happen, the countless volunteers, current and past, who have made a difference in so many lives, including mine. So in closing, let me say again and express my profound and humble gratitude for this honor tonight, for helping me discover my talents, nurturing me to find my own passions, and encouraging me to follow that passion wherever it ultimately led, for teaching and modeling the value of kindness and service to others. I've come to learn that my pursuit continues long after my Olympic career is over. And now that I'm a father of 2 boys, realize the example set by so many of you that are here tonight and before me have done, to raise children who learn, who grow, and to live a life of kindness. So tonight it is me that honors all of you. This entire community, so special, so unique, and connected by water and aloha. Thank you.